Let's unpack this some more now with Vehbi Baysan speaking to us from Istanbul. He's an associate professor of history at Haldun University. Vehbi, always good to speak to you on the News Hour. For many of our international viewers who may not understand the history of the PKK and its attacks on Turkey, just talk us through why this terror organization has targeted Turkey over the last 4 decades.
Well, bottom line is what Ankara always called them as a terror organization because they're the separatists. Basically, they want to have a chunk of Turkey with the southeastern part of Turkey. And they were, in fact, directly responsible from death of over 40,000 people. But what had happened is that in Turkey's fight against terror, they withdraw back in the mountains in northern Syria, northern Iraq. But what happened in more than a decade ago is that the U.S., in the pretext of fight against ISIS, or locally known as Daesh, started arming groups which Turkey sees as a threat. And this is going on more than a decade, more than 10 years, 12 years ago, and it continues. But what Turkey or the public opinion says is that how long this war going to last, how long the world's superpower can fight against a terror organization, how long it takes, 2 decades, 3 decades, it's unknown, and how many people do U.S. arm at the very near to the borders of Turkey, I mean here the northeastern part of Syria, and that the perception of threat comes both in Ankara and the public opinion. Of course, we are the same here, and a lot of people worried about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when we look at Turkish security, it's not only the border of Turkey that needs to be secured, but if you have a safe Turkish border, what's the broader impact on Turkey's many neighbors?
Well, I mean, Turkey, the unfortunate geophysical condition, just remember that Syria, more than 500,000 people got killed and more than 10 million displaced. And Iraq already, we know what has happened there. For decades now, it's almost trying to recover from status as a failed state, and Ukraine and Iran and so forth and so on. But Turkey primarily trying to explain to international community, and a latest like a defense where hitting the targets in Syria clearly demonstrate frustration in Ankara that no one wants to listen. Look, if you have more than 80,000 people at your borders, armed and trained in the fight against ISIS, and in fact, we also know in the past that once this threat of Daesh or ISIS disappear, most probably these weapons will be left in the region. And you know that it's going to shoot at each other. So if you don't do something about it now, it's going to blow up soon. So if you notice now, the Turkey is hitting targets carefully selected and carefully and sensitively avoiding civilians. And in my view, clearly shows the frustration because no one wants to do anything about it.
Have other countries actually helped Turkey in this fight against terrorism, or does Ankara feel that they're going at this alone?
Well, actually, it seems a lot of these countries in Europe especially, they don't want to kind of at all involved in this issue. So Turkey is left alone with these groups, and it's a very close proxy to its border. As I said, more than 80,000 armed men, and what's going to happen to them in the near future, we don't know, and no one wants to do anything about it. When it comes to U.S. has this allied forces, and they're saying they're fighting against ISIS. We all appreciate that, and we are grateful for this. But how long it takes? It's already more than 10 years, and we don't see results. It's going to take another 2-3 decades. We don't know. But more importantly, what we don't know is that in northeastern part of Syria, of course, Syrian government or the armed forces has no control about it. And Iraq in that sense, has no control about northern parts of it. So when it comes to safety and security for the people of Turkey, it seems the government felt it has to do something about it because it's just getting out of control.
Vehbi Baysan, good to get your analysis. Thank you so much.